Hello. And we're live here on IG and live on YouTube. This is interesting, actually. Let me see if I can position this so that I'm looking at everybody at the same time. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, manage it like this. Hmm. Not seeing anyone. Just type our title. Okay. If anyone can hear me, see me, can you please let me know? I'm not sure if there's anyone here. Mm. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just waiting for Instagram to come up. Um, so I don't see any activity. Oh, it's just loading. Okay. Yes, so we are live finally. We'll just give it a few more minutes while we wait for um, mamas to hop on. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to another live teaching. Mommy Mo in the building. Hello, Eden Hair Products. Hello, Bumi Martins. Hello, Talia Joy. Hello, Obi Miriam. Nita Michael. Lumon Naturals. Emiola. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Everybody for joining. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll just get right into it. Um, thank you for coming on. Um, we'll be teaching, or rather, I'll be teaching you today on the difference between breakage and shedding. I told you guys to pick a topic. You guys didn't pick a topic, so uh, I chose one for you because I find that it's a very common issue that comes up with a lot of moms. Um, so I said, okay, let me address it so that we know the difference, and then maybe in another lesson, then we can know how to handle it. Okay. Um, yes. Bimera, my hair has difficulty in growing. Okay, let me just finish teaching. Even though I'd have preferred questions based on what I'm going to teach, but let's finish the teaching and then we'll see if we can come back to your question. Okay. So once again, thank you everybody for being here. Uh, Today, the 17th of June, 2021, and today we're learning the difference between breakage and shedding. So it's really a very brief class because it's it's not a very extensive subject. All right. The important thing is know the difference so that you know exactly what is going on with your child's hair. If it's shedding, you know what to do and how to tackle it, or you know what could be causing it. And if it's breakage, the attendant, what will I call it? The attendant care or correction that you need to make if it's breakage. All right. So basically, shedding is hair loss when hair sheds from its root, from the root, from the hair follicles. So when the hair pulls out of the follicles, that is shedding, and it tends to occur naturally. You may not have noticed it tends to occur naturally. While breakage is hair loss. So they're both hair loss. So you're losing hair when your hair is shed and you're losing hair when your hair is breaking. It's just that one occurs naturally or could occur as a result of biological reasons or hereditary reasons or hormonal reasons, things like that. Whereas breakage is hair loss when there is a break. It is literally a break or a snap or a cut anywhere along the length of a hair shaft. So let's assume this is the strand of hair, right? So breakage can occur here, 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 anywhere along this length. Whereas shedding is when hair, the length of hair pulls out. Okay, that is what shedding is. So shedding occurs daily. The terms that are used interchangeably. People say, "Oh, my hair is shedding. I have a lot of shedding. I have a lot of shedding," whereas their hair could be breaking. As opposed to, "My hair is breaking a lot. My hair is breaking a lot. My hair is breaking a lot," whereas it could actually just be shedding. So it's good to know the difference. All right. So shedding occurs daily, like literally every day. Your hair sheds or your daughter's hair sheds. Okay. And on average, we shed between about 50 to 100 strands of hair a day naturally, normally, under normal circumstances, that is no underlying medical condition or issue, we lose on average about 50 to 100 strands of hair per day. So you may think that this is a lot of hair. When you say, "Oh, every day 100 is coming out from my scalp," but the actual truth is that each human being has about over a million hair follicles on their head. And what you need to know is that shedding is the end result of the hair growth cycle. So hair grows in three phases. It has an anagen phase, which is growing phase. It has a catagen phase, which is a resting phase, and then there's a telogen phase, which is like the shedding phase. So when your hair sheds and when your hair pulls out, or when your hair is able to leave your scalp, is usually in that third stage of the growth cycle. All right. How many strands would that mean? So I'm coming to that. So the thing that happens in telogen phase, which is the last phase of the hair growth cycle, is that when that stage occurs, your hair, it detaches from its root. So it detaches from within the follicle. But that detachment now gives room for new hair to grow. Okay, so when your hair sheds and it pulls out of your scalp, don't think or be under the impression that that place is now empty. No, new hair started growing out from that follicle. Okay, it's a cycle of life. You know, saying how many will remain. It's actually a cycle of life. Okay, that's the way hair strands grow. They grow, they start growing for any number of years, which is genetically predetermined. Then it rests. So you have all this hair, it rests, and then it needs to come out. So a new one can actually now grow. That is why in a healthy child, you do not have baldness. So if our hair was shedding and it wasn't growing back, then you would have a bald, then your child would be bald. But your child's scalp is not bald. There's always hair. There's just at varying lengths, okay? And about 90% of the time, our hair is probably in the telogen phase anyway. Okay, so it's good to understand these things. So remember that this is a natural process, and it is when it is excessive that you can now have cause for concern. So if you comb, because the thing is, every day you're losing hair. So if you touch your hair, some will come off. If you comb your hair, some will come off. How long is the final phase? Oh my goodness, right now I can't remember. But I can put it in the comment. I can put it, but it doesn't last long. I think it's usually about a few weeks. It doesn't last long. The longest phase is the anagen phase, which could be as long as 4 years or 6 years. And that phase actually determines the length of hair that you have, because after that phase stops, hair has reached its terminal length. So your anagen phase The hair will grow to wherever it's able to grow to. If you're able to retain the length, if it's breaking, whatever happens in that cycle, the hair will grow out, and then it will stop growing at a point. It could stop for some people here, it could stop here, it could stop, so it varies across individuals. But I will put in the comments the length of the 3 phases so that we learn that as well. So, like I was saying, it is when the shedding is excessive that you should be worried. Don't confuse excessive with like a buildup of shed hair, because, for example, if you put your child's hair in a protective style and you don't touch that hair for 2 weeks, and then you now take down the hairstyle, you are bound to see some hair loss. It's almost impossible not to see any hair loss. Like I've said, you shed hair daily. So if every day your child shed 100 strands of hair over 2 weeks, how many strands of hair is that? So you should expect to see some hair. It is if you are now packing the hair in heaps after maybe about 2 weeks of taking down the style, or 1 week of taking down, then you know that there's a problem. And if you experience that kind of thing, my suggestion would be that you should go and see a trichologist, because when you have excessive shedding of hair, something is wrong. Is an indication that something is wrong. Okay, so please always expect to see hair any and every time you handle your child's hair, whether you comb it, sometimes when you brush it, when you're styling it, when you're shampooing it, when you're moisturizing it. You please expect to see some form of hair loss, but know that that is shedding. In fact, maybe later on, by the time I get to the end of my notes, I'll try and put up a picture of what a shed hair looks like so that we're clear. Now, breakage. This usually happens with damaged hair, and with breakage, you will likely observe. How will I explain it? You will likely observe a loss in length. With shed hair, your hair doesn't get shorter, if you understand what I mean. Remember what I said using this example. The hair, this is the hair. So this is the hair. And then when it's shed, it detaches. All right. With broken hair, it will break. So if your hair was this long and then it breaks hair, you've lost length. Okay. So there's a big difference between shed hair and broken hair. So you will most likely observe a loss of length, especially if it's excessive. So if you have excessive hair breakage, then you would notice that your child's hair is getting shorter, definitely. And it would be clear that, okay, her hair, okay, when they were making her hair, maybe they did all back, and then when you pulled it this way, it came like hair. But then the next month or next 2 months after, when they did the same all back hairstyle, because of course she goes to school, the hair stopped like hair, by my earring as opposed to hair. So she has lost length. So definitely there's breakage going on. All right. So remember, with breakage, there will most likely be loss of length. And breakage, for the most part, is usually as a result of excessive dryness. And then you now couple that with mishandling and abuse. So if you mishandle your child's hair, you should expect it to break. It is a natural consequence. If you abuse your child's hair, you should expect it to break, especially if you're not taking care of it properly. So if you're mishandling your child's hair, you're using the wrong kind of tools, you're using the wrong kind of products, or you're applying products the wrong way, or you are even using products that you shouldn't be using on your child's hair, you should expect breakage. Okay? Breakage results in split ends and shorter strands, and as a result of quite a few other factors. I think we'll discuss this in our live session, so we'll do causes of breakage, or we'll do a webinar on causes of breakage, so that you know, so you will identify if you are involved in any of these causative factors, and then you can now take steps to you can now take steps to correct yourself. So when we have a webinar or when we have discussion on causes of breakage, I'll list out as many as I can for you, and then you'll identify which category you fall into. Are you the one that, okay, you're using chemical products? Is it stress from or is your child not eating well? Is your child nutritionally deficient? Are you using the wrong kind of tools, the wrong kind of combs, the wrong kind of scissors, things like that. Okay. So to recognize or know which one is taking place. Because I know the next question will be, okay, how do I know which one is, just by looking at the hair, which one is shed hair and which one is broken hair? Let me see if I can find a picture for you because believe me, I take so many pictures of hair. So I can put it up and then hopefully it will be clear enough for you to see the difference or for you to be able to identify a shed hair. Because usually a shed hair, when it detaches from the follicle, it has like a whitish bulb at one end. So what you need to do is you pick the comb or whatever tool it was you used that gathered the hair, the brush or whatever, and then you scrutinize the the hair strand. Okay, you look at it closely and carefully from one end to the other. And most times, if you can find like some small whitish bulb, or I don't know how else to describe it, at one end, it is most likely a shed hair. Okay, so I'm looking through my hair files to see if I can bring out one for you because I know I have one in here. You can just give me a second. We're almost at the end of this teaching anyway, so like I told you, it's really a straightforward teaching. Feel you have an issue, you know exactly what it is. So I don't know now. Can you, if you can see the picture I've put up, please let me know. Say I can see it or all of that, and I can guide you to how to recognize the bulb at the end of a shed hair. So if you can see if you can see the picture I've just put up now, please let me know. My viewers on YouTube, I'm sorry I don't have that picture on here for you to see. So, okay, you can see it good. Now, if you notice the background of the green fabric, just at that background, if you see, can you see the end of the hair strand there? You can see that there's it's slightly it's rounded, so it's not like a clean cut exactly. So that is what a shed hair is. Okay, that is what a shed hair is. So for you to be clear, just take a strand of hair or a couple of strands of hair from your child's hair that you've gathered and all of that. Sorry. Okay, very good. And if this is what you see, this is shed hair. Okay. If you cannot identify this whitish tip on either the first end or the other end of the hair strand, then it's most likely broken hair. And broken hair can be in pieces. It can be long pieces. It can be short pieces. But just know that if you scrutinize it at either end, excuse me, at either end, you would not find this white bulb that I've shown you now. Okay. So yeah, it varies in length, and a lot of the time, if you're by the sink or you're doing your child's hair and you see pieces, those are broken hair. Know that it is almost impossible not to have broken hairs. What you need to bear in mind is that it should not be excessive. It is when there is excess of broken hair that you have a problem. It is almost impossible for me as an individual, even with how healthy my hair is, to run through my hair and not break off some. Okay, that is why even though we tell you that hair grows on the average about 1 centimeter a month, which is about half an inch a month, um, which is about 1 inch in 2 months, which would be 6 inches in 12 months. The reason why you cannot literally keep the 6 inches of growth is because some of it will break off because it's almost impossible for you not to handle your hair. Almost impossible for you not to comb. Even if you want to finger detangle, at some point you will break some, maybe your fingernail or your ring, or even just the ridges in the palm of your hand will cause some form of breakage. What is important is that the hair is healthy enough to withstand your constant manipulation and aggression. So when hair breaks off, you only break off a little, okay? So at the end of the year, you may not have retained 6 inches of length, but you could have retained 3 or 3.5, which is growth, which is good because some people don't retain at all. Some people, their hair breaks off faster than it's growing. Okay, so please bear this in mind because I have people in my DM saying my hair is breaking. my hair is breaking a lot, or my daughter's hair is shedding too much. And I'm like, are you sure this is shedding? Are you sure? So for you to be sure, I have explained to you the difference and I have shown you a picture of what a shed hair looks like. You can see that it's long and it's entrapped in other longer strands of hair. So this is important, okay? Now, like I said, it's a very straightforward class. I'm literally done teaching. So if you have any questions, hit me up right now so that I can be respectful of your time. And then we can, of course, have another live series, sorry, another live session or a webinar to address the causes of breakage, which I feel will be really, really helpful to a lot of moms. Really, really helpful because sometimes what we don't know is what we don't, rather, we don't know what we don't know. So if you don't know that what you're doing is causing your child's hair to break, you will not be able to correct yourself and adjust your practices to foster healthier hair or longer hair. So please, if you have any questions, here I wait for another about 5 minutes or thereabouts. Okay, I think somebody asked me a question in the beginning. Let me go back. My hair has difficulty in growing. So you see, that question is how do I explain it? If you say your hair has difficulty in growing, is that because hair is always growing, okay? Obi Miriam, hair is always growing unless there's an underlying issue. So unless you're ill, a lot of time illness stops hair growth. So what happens is, remember I mentioned the hair growth phases. If you say your hair is not growing, that means the anagen phase is not happening. And if the anagen phase is not happening, it means something is wrong in your body. Something is wrong in your body. And usually illness or hormonal imbalances, a lot of stress causes stuff like that. So if you know that you are not ill, Obi Miriam, so I need you to answer me. I need to know if you are ill or if you are not ill. If you are not ill, you don't have any medical condition going on, your hair is definitely growing. What your issue would be is that you're probably not retaining length. And you're probably not retaining length because you are not handling your hair the way you should be handling your hair. You are not treating your hair the way you should be treating your hair. You are not caring for your hair the way you should be caring for your hair. You see, you're not ill. So your hair is growing. So if you feel your hair is not growing, ideally what you mean is that you are not seeing it getting longer. Am I right? If I'm right, please let me know. You're not seeing your hair getting longer. And if your hair is not getting longer, like I said, breakage is loss of length. You will be losing length if your hair is breaking. So if your hair is breaking, you will lose length, which will make you think your hair is not growing. Okay? And if your hair is breaking, it means you're doing some things and you're not doing some things. Okay, so that's a whole different discussion on its own. But I need you to know and understand that your hair grows every day. As long as you are healthy and you are well, your hair grows exactly. See, I'm right. So you're not seeing it getting longer. So that means it's breaking. And it might be breaking either at the same rate at which your hair is growing. So, for example, if your hair grew a half an inch in a month and you lost half an inch in that month, you have not moved that backward or forward. Okay, if in 3 months you gained 1 inch of hair and then you lost half an inch of hair, you have gained some length, but because it's so marginal, you can't tell that you have increased in length. Okay, hi Kemi, I'm so happy to have you on here. So Mariam, your hair is likely breaking, and this could be as a result of your practices. um, it could be as a result of some products you're using. So it varies. And then, of course, people's level of breakage differs from one person to the other, depending on what their own individual, um, um, let's say, practices may be, or their individual life situations may be. Some people are too busy to have their hair done, so their hair goes under a wig or something, so they don't have time to care for their hair. Their hair will not increase in length. Someone else is that maybe they have time to do their hair, but they are doing their hair too many times in a month. You're styling your hair more than you should, so you will lose hair. Okay, so Mariam, I think what your issue is breakage, not that your hair is not growing. It is very soft and not. It is very soft. You're lucky. To be very honest with you, you're lucky because a lot of people want soft hair. A lot of people are tired of kinky hair that they cannot run a comb through. Okay, so if it's soft, you're lucky. If it's not fullness, which is volume, to be very honest with you, a lot of the time is determined genetically, because everybody is born with a specific number of hair follicles on their head. So if you are born with um, 1 million hair follicles, for example, and the hair goes out of all those 1 million follicles, and then your head is now very big. So the follicles are now spaced out on the hair, so it doesn't look full. But there's nothing you can do about that. As opposed to another person who has the same 1 million follicles of hair of hair follicles on their hair, but then their scalp or their head is small. So it now means the follicles are now more tightly packed together, so they have the illusion of fuller hair. But yet both individuals have the same 1 million hair follicles. Or it could be that another individual has 1.2 million. Okay, so the number of hair strands you have in your head is already genetically determined. You cannot change it. What I think you should concern yourself with and focus on is that your hair is healthy and it's not breaking. Because there are people who don't have full hair but have long hair, and it's beautiful. It's important to embrace what you have. Okay, my two daughters have very different hair. One has more dense hair than the other. Okay, the one with less dense hair doesn't have her hair is not even as curly as the one that her hair is dense. So will I say, oh, I want her hair to curl more? I can't do that. I can't change it. What I am concerned with is that this hair that this child has must be healthy so that it can withstand aggression, it can withstand me washing it, it can withstand me styling it. You understand? It can withstand going under the sun for some time and coming back from school and all of that. And knowing that year on year, even if we're able to retain only 2 inches of length, we are retaining 2 inches of length. That's what I'll concern myself with. So, Miriam, it's sometimes it's something that goes on in our minds. Okay, my hair is soft, my hair is not full. I want my hair to be full. Sometimes you may not be able to get that fullness, but can you have healthy hair? Because sometimes people have full hair, but then the hair is unhealthy, it's breaking, it's damaged, they have split ends. So, what is the essence at the end of the day of having the full hair if it's not going to be looking glorious? Whereas you can have hair that is not so full, yet it looks glorious. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying or where I'm coming from. So it's embracing. If your hair is healthy, it's moisturized, it's retaining length. My sister, embrace that hair the way it is. There's a reason why God gave you that type of hair. Maybe there's a day that you're going to pass away that is burning, and because your hair is not very full, it will not stand up. So that fire that is, that is overhead, your hair won't catch it. You know, hair is flammable, your hair won't catch because your own hair is not very full. So you can just stay down like that, and then you have to crawl under where there's fire. But because your hair is not very full, the fire didn't catch your own hair. You don't know the reason why you have hair that is not very dense. But I think what you need to do is just embrace it. Embrace it. Embrace it. Thank you. Please let me know if I pronounce this right. Kyrie Cole. Thank you for the compliment. So please embrace the hair you have. The important thing is to care for it. Okay. What will I do to stop the breakage? I will be unable to answer that until I have like a one-on-one with you because I need to know what you're doing. Okay, there could be two things you're doing that's breaking your head. There could be three things. There could be five things, or there could be something that you are not doing that's causing your head to break. So it's something that we need to discuss. Okay. Okay, Carrico. Oh, Kemi, thank you. So if there are no more questions, I will be going. It was nice to do this. Um, Hopefully one day the YouTube will also be buzzing like this. Oh, Kemi, I wish I was truly soft spoken. My husband says I shout. Okay. So thank you, darling, and it's good to see you out and about. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. So um, so I will say, okay, I can. I don't know how to remove this picture. Let me see if I can. Okay. Yes, okay, so I've taken that out. Okay, so I hope you've been able to learn something today. Um, so please, before you send me the DM of my child's hair is shedding too much, no, is it shedding? Is it really shedding? Or is it breaking? Okay, and if it's breaking, then we know what to do and we know how to address it. All right, so thank you everybody for coming on. I really, really appreciate you all. Thank you to
It's 9 o'clock.
whoever is there. Thank you. I appreciate everybody. Did you hear that? It's 9 o'clock at my end. So thank you. You're welcome, Boy Martins. You're so welcome. I'm happy to be able to help. I'm happy to be able to provide you with information that you need. uh, have a very pleasant evening and a wonderful weekend starting tomorrow. Maybe in another 2 weeks we'll have another chat. And then this time you guys actually tell me what you want to learn. Okay, it helps. So that way I know I'm actually giving you the value that you want. All right. So if you have something that is on your mind, put it up, we'll vote on it, like I said. We're a democracy here, a real democracy here. And then we'll put it up, we'll vote on it, and then I'll teach it. Okay. At the end of the day, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. I'm here to guide you so you don't make the mistakes that I did when I was caring for my children say when they were much younger. All right. So it's been a pleasure to teach. My mom is a teacher. Now I'm a teacher. Have a beautiful night and God bless you, everybody. Good night.